Let's talk about the predictions for 2026. Will mortgage rates drop in 2026 and will the housing market finally recover? Here is what RBC, TD, Scotiabank, and National Bank are actually predicting, and what it means for your mortgage if you are buying, selling, or renewing in 2026. My name is Jenny. I'm a mortgage agent, work all across Canada. If you want to talk about your specific situation, the link is in the description to book a meeting with me. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the most realistic 2026 outlook using the real bank forecast and real data, not opinions or hype. If you want to make a smarter mortgage decision in 2026, let's get right into it. Before we talk predictions, here is why 2026 actually matters. 2025 was a difficult year for Canadian real estate, especially in GTA. Sales were down, listings were up, and a lot of buyers stayed on the sidelines waiting for the rates to drop. But 2026 is shaping up very differently. Not a boom year, not a crash year, a stability year. And if you understand what's coming, that stability can save you or cost you thousands of dollars, depending on how you move from now on. Here is what we are covering today. What the Bank of Canada is likely to do in 2026, what that means for fixed versus variable mortgages, the housing outlook across Canada and the GTA, and the two scenarios that could change everything, and what you should actually do right now. Let's start with the rates. The big question everyone keeps asking is super simple. What is the Bank of Canada going to do in 2026? Accordingly to RBC and TD, the expectation is that Bank of Canada holds the overnight rate at 2.25% through the whole year, through the whole 2026. No cuts, no hikes, just stability. That might sound boring. After the chaos of the last few years, stability actually matters. It means planning becomes possible again, but not all bank agrees with that. Scotiabank expects the Bank of Canada to hold in the first half of 2026, then hike by about 50 basis points in the second half of the year. National Bank has a very similar outlook. They're saying hold for now, then potentially hikes later in 2026. So why the disagreement? It comes down to inflation and economic growth. If inflation stays sticky or the economy heats up again, the Bank of Canada may feel pressure to raise rates again. If growth slows, trade tension increases, or employment weakens, rate cuts could come back into the conversation. In fact, even the Bank of Canada has said it's unclear whether the next move will be hike or cut. That's how uncertain the environment we are living right now in. So here's the bottom line on rates. The best case is stability at 2.25%. The risk case is hikes later in 2026. The wild card is cuts if the economy weakens. And that leads directly to the fixed versus variable decision. So what does this mean for your mortgage in 2026? Variable rate tied directly to the Bank of Canada overnight rate. If the bank holds, variable rates stay relatively stable, assuming your lender doesn't change their spread. But if Scotiabank and National Bank are right and we see hikes later the year, variable borrowers will feel that immediately through higher payment. Fixed rates work a little bit different. They are tied to the Government of Canada bond yield, not the overnight rate. That means fixed rates can rise even when the Bank of Canada does nothing. We actually saw this happen in late 2025. Fixed rates increased while bank was on hold because the bond yields jumped on inflation concerns. So stability from Bank of Canada does not automatically mean cheaper fixed rates for you. Now, let's talk about the housing market itself. There is a forecast that national home sales will rise by about 7.7% in 2026, reaching roughly 509,000 transactions. That's recovery, but that's not frenzy. In the GTA, 2025 was especially challenging. Sales fell over 11%, while new listings rose more than 10%. That created more supply and less urgency, which is still affecting prices today. TD broke things down by provinces, and here's what they are forecasting for 2026 price growth. Ontario, roughly flat, around 0.5%. Alberta, solid growth, over 4%. Saskatchewan, strong growth, over 6%. BC, modest recovery, around 3 to 4%. Quebec, the strongest outlook, close to 7%. So, if you're in Ontario, don't expect dramatic price growth. If you're in Quebec, momentum may look very different. This is why national headlines can be totally misleading. Now let's put everything together. There are really three possible scenarios for 2026. Scenario 1 is the base case. The Bank of Canada holds at 2.25%. Sales recover gradually. Prices stabilize. This is what RBC TD are expecting. Scenario 2 is late year hike. Inflation stays stubborn and the bank rises rate by about 50 basis points. Variable rate rises, affordability tightens, and housing activity slows again. And we have scenario number 3, cuts. No one knows for sure. That's why the smartest approach is to prepare for all three scenarios. So what should you actually do right now? Number 1, if you're renewing, don't wait until the last minute. Start planning early. If fixed rates make sense and you want certainty, locking in ahead of the potential hikes can protect you. If you choose variable, make sure your budget can actually handle if the rates increase. If you're buying, focus on affordability, not trying to time the bottom. The GTA has more inventory right now, which gives you leverage as a buyer. Don't expect crash. If you're selling, prices matter more than ever. 2025 showed that overpricing leads to ceding, no bidding wars. And most important, stay informed. In 2026, local data and personal numbers matter more than headlines. That's the real 2026 outlook. Mortgage rates, housing, and what it actually means for you. If you are planning to buy, sell, or renew in 2026 and want a strategy based on your situation, the link is in the description to book a meeting with me. If you want a deeper breakdown on choosing fixed versus variable in 2026, watch the next video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.